Today, we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's pretty personal. And honestly, not a lot of people get it. It's all about the hidden grief that can come when you start to outgrow your tribe. So let me just start by asking you this. Does your own personal growth ever feel lonely? I mean, have you ever had that feeling where the more you work on yourself, the more you heal, the more alone you somehow end up feeling? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you're in the right place. It happens just like this, right? You're doing all the hard work. You're setting boundaries, finding your voice. You're finally becoming you. And you'd think people would be cheering you on. But instead, you just get this cold distance, this weird gap that starts to form between you and the people you thought would be there for you no matter what. It's confusing. So let's just dive right into the heart of it, okay? Let's unpack the pain of personal growth and figure out why it so often feels like you're the one getting left behind. It's such a strange paradox, isn't it? The logic just doesn't seem to add up. You're getting better, healthier, more you. And you'd think that would lead to deeper connections. But for some reason, the first thing that often happens is this deep, powerful sense of isolation. But what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if that distance you're feeling isn't about them rejecting the new you? What if it's actually about them mourning the old you? Yeah, let's talk about that hidden grief. Okay, think of it this way. Every relationship we have, it has these invisible, unspoken rules, these emotional contracts. You know, the roles we play for each other. Maybe you're the peacekeeper or the funny one or the one who always says yes. Well, when you start to grow, you're basically ripping up that contract and writing a new one. And that shakes everything up. And this just lays it out so perfectly. The compliant you, the old you, was predictable, right? You served a purpose, you kept things steady. But the authentic you? Well, you serve your truth now. You're not as predictable. You're emotionally independent. And that can feel really disruptive to people who are comfortable with the old system. And this is the absolute key takeaway. That pushback you're feeling, that cold shoulder, a lot of the time it's a form of grief. They're not necessarily rejecting who you're becoming. They're mourning the loss of who you were, the person who fits so neatly into their life. Your growth, without you even intending it, threatens their comfort. You know, this whole thing, this painful, confusing journey, it's not just some random thing that happens. There's actually a name for it in psychology. It's a powerful concept called individuation. So the legendary psychologist Carl Jung came up with this idea, and it's pretty simple at its core. Individuation is just the process of shedding the false self, all the masks we wear for other people, so that we can finally figure out who we really are underneath it all. And it usually happens in these kinds of stages. First, you start letting go of that false self, the people pleaser. And what happens next? Well, as we've seen, that almost always disrupts the old relationships that were built on that false self. But then comes the best part. You finally get to discover and live as your true self. Okay, so we get it. It's real, it's painful, it has a name. But now what? What if we could reframe this whole experience? What if that loneliness isn't a dead end? What if instead it's a sacred bridge? I really need you to hear this. This feeling of being all alone on your journey, it is not a punishment. It is not a sign that you've messed up or done something wrong. It's a passage, that's all. It's a temporary space you have to move through to get from who you used to be to who you were truly meant to become. And that's where the magic is. The moment you can accept this loneliness, not as a final destination, but as the sacred bridge, you realize its purpose. Its entire purpose is to lead you to your new tribe. Which, of course, brings us to the most exciting part, the destination. What's waiting for you on the other side of that lonely bridge? Well, it's your true tribe. And just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Your old tribe, maybe they loved how compliant you were, how useful you were to them. But your new tribe, they're gonna love you for your truth. They're gonna celebrate your authenticity. This is what's waiting for you, for real. Connections that are genuinely authentic. Relationships that don't just put up with your growth, but actually encourage and support it. A whole community of people who love you for who you actually are, not for the role you play. So if you take away just one single thing today, let it be this. This painful, messy, lonely chapter, it's not a mistake. It is the prerequisite. It is the price of admission for finding true, deep, authentic connection. And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. If you keep walking, if you stay brave and keep choosing yourself, even when it's lonely, just imagine who is waiting on the other side for the real you.